good. I'm so glad that you are here today. You found it pretty easy?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
No problem at all.
Okay, great. Welcome to the Famously Local podcast. Local, not local, but famous around these parts. You are on the air with the hostess with the mostest, sharing the good news that you can use as we talk, community awareness, and keep you in the know. I am aliasly known as That Law Hill Girl, and today, y'all, you guys, I have the privilege of introducing to you our first violinist, and I'm so glad that he is our first, Mr. Michael Cummings. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
No, thank you. And so, to keep up with our tradition, local, not local, tell the people where you're from around these parts.
I am a Charlotte native, actually.
Okay.
I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina. Did a little bit of school in Greensboro and Stony Brook, Long Island. But then I came right back here to home.
Oh, good. I love Charlotte. I lived in Charlotte 20 years, so in my mind, that's home.
Oh, yeah.
Part home, let me say it like that. Wow, that's good to know. And so I just want to let you guys know how we were able to meet Mr. Cummings. We had a privilege of meeting him and his lovely wife Amanda at Good Shepherd Baptist Church of Stanley. I want to say it's Stanley.
Stanley,
yeah.
That's right.
And he had actually played that Sunday. And our former pastor, Pastor James Hope, shout out to you, Pastor Hope. Today is an awesome day for him too. He's having his install today at the church. So, had we not gone, we would have missed the treat, you guys. And I'm telling you, it was definitely a treat. You know, this man is so gifted. So thank God for that.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions. I won't drill you too bad. We'll try not to. At what age did you know that you wanted to play an instrument?
That's a good question. I actually I started playing probably around 13 years old, but I wouldn't say I knew I wanted to play until later. Probably not until I got to high school when I realized that there were professional musicians and that there was an entire world of music to explore there. That's when it really started to kick in. Yeah.
And why this particular instrument, the violin?
Funny story, actually. When I first started in elementary school, they kind of just provided us with the option of choosing, and of course I chose. I wanted something cool like the saxophone or the drums or something like that. And I suffered from asthma. I still do, but I suffered from asthma then. And my mom was just like, I think we should do something a little bit calmer that doesn't involve so much breathing and physical activity and stuff like that. So that's what got me into violin. But I didn't really start to pick up the pace with it until later. And so I started to hear the music and really started to kind of drag me down the rabbit hole, so to speak.
You heard that calling.
Yeah.
I got you. And so how long have you been playing?
About 25 years.
Oh, okay, that's excellent. Now, you did play the instrument in high school?
I did.
Okay, and what grade was that again?
So, 9th through 12th I was still playing, and I didn't really start getting serious until junior year of high school is when I started really trying to get ready for college. And I decided that I wanted to major in music in college. So I got a private teacher, took private lessons every week. I got into a youth orchestra. I got into a quartet, just to vibe, 2 violins, a violin, a cello, and just started really immersing myself into it. So
that is good. That is awesome, man. Now, what is one of the first things that you learn as a violinist from your teacher? Is it the holding of it, or?
Yeah, I would say it's a mixture of maybe what you would call pedagogy, so the technique, the holding of it, just those basic fundamental concepts, but also we had to approach it from the musical knowledge standpoint. So, can you hear, descending notes, which note is higher, things like that. And can you hear if you're playing in tune and things like that? And so we go over scales and just the overall structure of music and how it works. So that all has to be kind of tackled in those first steps.
Okay. And is there a reason why you lean? That's part of it, the technique?
Yeah, that's just kind of a personal preference thing.
Okay.
It's with the violin. It's you want to communicate as much as you can, really. So the movement is part of it. Just like if you go see a concert with a singer or something, everything he or she does is part of that experience. So yeah.
Okay. Now, I did not know that the effects like humidity and temperature was a part of maintenance concerns in regards to a violin. So how do you care for yours? Do you store it anywhere? Or?
You do. You want to keep it at room temperature as much as you can.
Wow.
And that's a good point. I actually have a tool that I use in my instrument that it's kind of like a rag that's kind of soaked in rubber. I'll let you see it later, but I stick it in one of the holes of the instrument, and it helps to regulate the humidity. Of course, it's made out of wood, so humidity and drastic temperature changes can be kind of catastrophic to it. So you want to kind of keep it regulated and just like a person, really.
Yeah, wow, that's like, see, I'm learning a lot. I had to do my homework because I knew you was coming.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Now, is it called resin? R-E-S-I-N?
Oh, rosin, maybe. Rosin, yes. So rosin is tree sap. It is essentially just dried tree sap. And of a specific variety, and we use that on the bow of our instrument. The bow is made of a wooden part, and then it's actually bound by horsehair. So that's what is actually making contact with the string and causing the friction and causing the sound that you're hearing. So the rosin is applied to the horsehair, and it more or less manifests as a powder that kind of gets in between the horsehair and makes it be coarse, and so that's what's actually causing the grip on the string.
Oh wow, that's interesting enough. Thanks so much, you guys, for that quick little walk away. I had to fix my phone. So embarrassed, but it's life, right?
It's life.
So I want to say, so like Nike, the cost of shoe, the prices vary. Is it the same in purchasing a violin?
Yes, definitely. So violins range from, I would say, maybe $200 for just an entry-level student violin to millions, as you can imagine. Stradivariuses and violins from centuries past, made out of materials that are exotic and very very local in nature, that are not available anymore. So they're essentially priceless instruments. Yeah,
and I love the fact. I saw a pink one the other day, so you can get colors now?
Yes, you can get you can get colors, and you can get electric violins and all sorts. So it's really good at getting creative.
I love it, man. I love it. When we had our wedding, we actually had a violins too. We do not know what a guy is, but it put a whole different feel in the atmosphere. Classic. Sophistication.
Some of my favorite gigs to play.
Yeah, okay, good. That was my next question. So are you a freelance violinist, available for gigs?
So I keep myself pretty busy, but I usually do at least a few a year. A lot of the times it's stuff that's near and dear to me, so it's people that I know. So it's a pleasure to do that and be a part of those. I've played for, most of the time it's weddings, but I've done other gigs as well, and I've played for my wife's brother. They just recently got married. We had that one in a hay barn, and played outside, and the track was out there and everything. And I played in a Charleston plantation out there with the humidity and the alligators, and I've played on the side of a mountain for another one of my wife's friends as well too. So that just like you said, it really creates an elevated moment there. It makes it super special.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be a part of it.
It's a beautiful instrument, and just the sound, everything in itself. I love it. And so, is there a venue preference or events that you prefer to go to, or it doesn't matter?
I would say probably weddings. Especially when it's just me. I think it does create a very intimate, personal experience, and the only part that's kind of difficult would be probably the playing outside part, like we were talking about. It can be a little fickle, but it does add to the romance. Playing outside. So I'm oftentimes just as enthusiastic to be out there as anybody else. So
that's good. Now, was there anyone that you listened to when you grew up, or was there a teacher or a mentor that you kind
As far as violin, I have really been entranced by Hilary Hahn. She is from Virginia, a young woman that kind of stood up against a lot of these guys that were just pillars in the industry. And she is very, very sharp and very charismatic out there and can play anything. And that really inspired me when I started hearing some of the things she was playing, and I just didn't know that violins could do that. And so, yeah.
Well, we heard that Sunday with you. I was just like, can we just take them home for a couple hours? But I know we could, you know. But so outside of music, what other hobbies or interests do you have? Or is it solely music, solely violin?
Well, I do enjoy music a lot. I mean, I also, you know, me and my wife, we have a publishing company, and we make music. We make Lofi Beats, so it's like that kind of ambient sound, and I'll stick my violin in there every once in a while on a few tracks. So I've been enjoying that because I did go to college for music composition as well. So that's been a big part. It's just kind of getting into that groove and finding those things out about myself. But other than music, I would say I really like. I like watches, so wrist watches. That's actually horology is the study of timekeeping devices, and I've been interested in that as well. The mechanisms, the heritage, and the branding, the styling, and all that stuff. It's very interesting. I also love tennis. That's probably my favorite sport. I'll watch it. I played some in high school as well too. So I think it's a beautiful sport and it's very fun to play. And recently, I've been into data analysis. I have done a career change, and it is a new passion for me as well. Just looking at spreadsheets and tables, you wouldn't believe it, but you can glean a lot of insights from data, and it's a very creative process and very fulfilling. So
this is good. This is good. See, I knew you were deep. And in regards to the so now, is it Lofi Beats?
Lofi Beats.
Lofi Beats. I have watched that a time or two on YouTube. It's some really unique things that's on YouTube. Even like the little jazz cafe music that just plays, you know, the crackling sounds. We actually go to sleep to some of the different sounds. So I love that they have that out there. Now, is there a community for violinists?
So, as far as a community, if you're a part of an orchestra, that would be kind of the first layer there, or a part of a quartet or something like that. You may be a part of a society or something like that. There are societies that are dedicated to specific composers, so kind of promoting their music, and if they're not that much in the mainstream within the classical music sphere, but not like you would think, I guess. I mean, a lot of the organizations are probably based on employment and kind of ensuring the rights of the musicians and making sure that the arts are still promoted. But as far as me, I'm just a freelance. I'm just a free agent out there. So yeah.
So you are available for events.
Yes.
Y'all, you guys, you heard what Michael said now. Now, I do want you to tell us about your publishing company.
So we, my wife and I, we discovered that, you know, in order to produce music and have it distributed, that we would, you know, need a publisher. And a lot of, they make it so easy now. You can become your own publisher, and that way you are the creator and the publisher of your music, and you don't have to wait on someone else or work with someone else. You can just kind of do that to make sure it gets distributed. And so that's really where that started. We're really new at it, but we're just kind of having fun. You know, she's actually into graphic design.
Okay.
She has a history with that, so she's been helping with the visual part of it, which is, as you've probably experienced with lo-fi and those, it is a huge component of it, the branding of it as well, and just a lot of it is intended to be listened to when you're at work, or maybe just taking a long drive, or like you said, relaxing before you go to bed. A lot, that imagery is a lot of the package that helps that be effective.
That's right. That's right. You guys stay busy.
We try to keep ourselves busy.
This is good. This is good. So how can the people find you, Michael?
Well, I am on YouTube. I think probably the best way to reach me would be YouTube, and we also have an Instagram account. And the name of our group that I'm the most active in is Cuppa Beats, Cuppa Beats. And you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on all the major platforms like Spotify and Pandora. We have an album out, and as well as Instagram too. So we're excited to we're back in the season of making a second album. So we're kind of thinking of new ideas and stuff. So it's just been a great ride.
Wow. So you guys, you're not gonna miss out because Michael's going to actually, Mr. Cummings, I'm so sorry. He is going to perform for us today, and I'm so super excited about it, and I know you're going to love it too. And so we're going to let him set up and come back, but I want to thank you so much for coming out and, allow me to interview you, and mainly allowing everyone out there to hear you, so thank you.
Thank you for having me. This has been great. I'm really having a great time.
I appreciate you. I hope you come back too. I really do. Sure. I really do. So again, you guys, local, not local, but famous around these parts. Be blessed.
Unaccompanied Violin Sonata Number 1 in G minor. This is the first movement, the Adagio by Johann Sebastian Bach.
Thank you so much.